Someone asked me the other day why I don't play live anymore. I was doing one of my live Q&As that I do on Facebook every now and one of the questions was, don't you see yourself, being more on the road? The answer is no, but here's why. When I started this project, I was still playing with bands, I was touring the UK, and I was teaching. I had rents to pay, I had my own personal expenses to pay, and then I realized something. I had to focus. I couldn't spend another day trying to be everything. It was just driving me crazy. You see, that's the thing about wanting to be everything at the same time. You end up being quite bad at most things. Even if you have a knack for something, if you have talent, that only takes you so far. Reality is, you will crack, and you will start making a lot of mistakes. And I had to make a decision. And that decision was made like this. So here's how I solved the problem. When I was playing with the band, the people were great. The project was great, the music was great, I loved playing with them. But there was no money. So I was putting a lot of time into this project, but there was no return. I wasn't willing to do any kind of job, and plus I had the Leeds Drum Academy to finance, so I had to do something about it. I was already teaching, and so I asked myself, out of these three parameters, money, people and music, which project fulfills the most of these? The band, great people, great music, no money. The Leeds Drum Academy, great people, great project, I love teaching. And money. So the money wasn't great, but it was there. So it was a no-brainer. I had to focus. Plus, I enjoy being a specialist. I enjoy the fact that what I do really well, because I don't allow myself to get distracted by side projects. All the projects that I do are about the same thing, to provide value to others. I'm not trying to make myself happy, I'm not trying to entertain people, it's all about value. It's all about value. So, should you specialize or should you diversify and, as they say, put a lot of eggs in different baskets? Well, I think you should do both. It depends on what you need to do. Do you want to experiment because that's where you are in your life? Or do you want to become great at something? Because that's the thing. I experimented a lot. I played with many bands, I recorded in the studio, I taught, I did a bunch of different stuff in music. And because I did a bunch of different stuff, I realized and I learned and I understood what I really enjoyed doing. And also what was the most fulfilling in terms of money. So at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, do you want to experiment or do you want to be great at something? If you want to be a great musician, you have to focus on practice and playing with musicians. If you want to be a great educator, you have to focus on researching about education and you have to teach a lot. If you want to focus on being a great session player, you have to be versatile, you have to connect with people who run studios, and so on and so on. The issue that I have with diversifying is that you will become average, because you're trying to do everything. What do you think is going to happen if you dedicate 3 hours to 4 different things or 12 hours to one thing? It's obvious that you're going to become really good at that one thing. Now, how do you choose that one thing? Ask yourself. Money, people, and project. For me, at the beginning of my career, I had to have 2 out of 3 of those. If the money and the project were great and the people were fine, you don't want to work with bad people, but they weren't necessarily my friends, I would say yes. If the money and the people were great and the music was fine, I would say yes. If the people and the music were great but the money wasn't there, I would say yes. Eventually, of course, you level up and you keep progressing in your career, and now I need all three to be fulfilled: money, people, and of course the project. Do I love drumming? Of course I love drumming. Months ago I posted a vlog called I'm Not a Drummer. A lot of people back then felt kind of funny when I posted that vlog. They were like, aren't you a drummer? What are you saying? You play drums all day? You're a drum teacher? Shouldn't you be a little bit more a drummer? The answer is no. Drumming is my hobby. Education, that's my passion. And to share value, that is my mission. So, yeah.
Everyone respects the king, at least that's what he like to think. He has his own definition, what it is to be a man. Baby, you don't wanna light the fuse. Type of guy with an appetite for telling women.